TJ Dillashaw, once again, the king at 135 pounds. He finishes his former teammate, his rival, if you want to call him that, Cody Garbrandt, in a fantastic performance, one of 3 title changes on the card, and he is kind enough to join us on this Monday afternoon to look back on it all. TJ, are you there?
I am here. How's it going?
It's going great. Congratulations on the victory. What's it like now to be called champion? Has it sunk in? Does it feel, I mean, maybe it felt this whole time like you were the champion, but on this Monday afternoon, less than 2 days removed, what's it like?
Yeah, man. I mean, I kept saying that I felt like I was still champ, so I've been telling myself that for a while. But, it's nice to actually be vindicated and me actually have the belt back, and have some legitimacy to it. So I feel good, man. I feel real good.
You've had some big victories, obviously. The first one against Burrell, the rematch, etc. Did this one feel different because of how personal it got, because of the backstory?
I guess there's a little bit of excitement right away as soon as I finished him, just because of all the drama, But there's nothing that will ever surpass beating Burrell the first time, being such a big underdog. The first time me being in front of all the lights and being part of the main event, that'll never ever be surpassed. But this was a great feeling.
What was going through your mind in between the first and second round? Because it seemed like he won that round, that he might have even rocked you. How were you able to regroup and readjust in order to finish him?
Well, I definitely got rocked. I heard the 10-second timer, so my mind, I knew the round was close. He was dodging a lot of my stuff, and so every time now that I've been in a fight coming from those decision losses, I want to try to win every round. And that's where I get myself in trouble. I tried to get a little bit too aggressive into that first round and wanted to make a little statement the last 10 seconds and try to steal every round I possibly could, And that wasn't part of the game plan. The game plan was to not get overly aggressive, let him throw his big hooks and miss, stay long, and don't play where he's good. So I let caution go to the wind, and it got a little overly aggressive in those last 10 seconds. And he countered my straight right. My hands were up, and I threw a clean straight right, but I stepped right into his right hand. So I got a little rocked on that. As soon as I stood up, I was actually on the single leg. I was kind of back mentally. Stood up, my feet didn't really want to get underneath me, but they did. Walked back to the corner, and I heard their cornerman being jerks like they've been the whole camp, saying they got my number. We got your effing number, Dillashaw. Got your effing number. I heard that. And as soon as I heard that, I turned back to the corner and was like, all right, let's get our shit together. Sorry for swearing, but
no problem.
Let's get our stuff together. Kind of hit my hands together and was like, all right, I gotta change it up. So I sat down in the corner and just listened to Dwayne. He's the one looking from the outside in. That's why he's in my corner. He's got great eyes and changed up the tempo. Decided to come out of the second round a different fighter.
Wow, so they were actually talking to you during the fight? His corner was actually speaking to you? You can hear them?
Yeah, I could hear him. I can hear him talking shit the whole time, actually.
Wow. What else were they saying?
Yeah. Oh, stuff like when I'd miss a leg kick or something, like, too slow. TJ, you're too slow. Like, all you got is like a right hook, like all this stuff, Just try to continue to break me,
So obviously you've trained with him in the past. Being in there with him in an actual fight, is this the same guy, or did he get better since when you trained with him?
No, it's the same guy. He relies on what he had. He's not going to be one of those guys to get a lot better. I mean, he'll get more experience, and stuff like that. But no, to me, he was the same guy. So
you don't think he evolves from here? You think he's plateaued as a fighter?
No, I'm not. I mean, the sport, when it's one of the things where you got to be very well rounded, and I think that's something he doesn't have. I think more people will take advantage of it. As he continues to fight, we'll see more and more of that. He's a really good athlete. He's good at what he does. And the guys that he has fought have played into his game. So I'm not saying he's plateaued, but I just don't think he has grown that. I've seen much growth, and he hasn't showed me anything else other than what he's good at,
When he posted that video of the training session with him knocking you down like 48 hours before the fight, what was your reaction? That it finally came out after all this time, like you see that for the first time. How do you react to that?
It was to be expected, kind of. I didn't know that video was to be expected, but something was to be expected. You know, I knew that some sort of drama was going to try to get started, either if it was going to be them trying to fight us at weigh-ins or like what they did with Cruz, or I just knew something was going to happen the last couple of days before the fight, and it happened to be the video, you know. And it's funny that though they decided to stop the video when they do, they don't continue it, because I do remember him talking about this video, and I told him I never got knocked out because it's the truth. And he got called out on it on the Rogan podcast, where, you know, he does knock me down, you know, and I get up and I guess I yell at him and I continue to spar. You know, I mean, I got caught with the right hand, being lazy, circling the wrong way. You know, that kind of stuff happens in practice. But it's funny that he has this one video that he can rely on. You know what I mean? Like, it actually almost looks like it's almost looks worse for him to continue to talk about this one time. Because if it was a regular thing, why do you need to post this one video? You know what I mean?
There's that iconic moment afterwards where you got up right in his face. Did you say anything to him in that moment, or were you just yelling at him after you beat him?
Oh, just yelling, and I didn't even at first I didn't even like mean to like yell in his face. You know, it was one of those things where I stood up and just started screaming. You know, just hulking out and screaming in every direction. I turned one direction, I turned the other direction. I go to turn the other way. And he's standing up, stumbling, you know, and kind of stumbled forward. And I don't even think he was meaning to come towards me. He was just standing up. And I just saw him coming at me, so I just yelled "what" in his face as loud as I could, you know, just because I was just overly excited, you know?
Yeah. Did you see him in the back afterwards? Did you guys exchange words?
Not in the back, but in the octagon we did, you know.
What'd you say?
Hands, and I told him good job. You know, this probably won't be the last we'll see of him. He's young. He's you know, be in this game. So we're sure we'll see him again. You know.
Did you see Uriah or any of the other teammates afterwards? And did you guys exchange words? If so,
no. The only one I did with was Justin. You know, even like during the fight, the only one that was like I saw we were like Danny and Bob and stuff. I heard them saying stuff during the fight. So that's the only someone I said something to. After like as soon as I wanted to sit up yelling, that was when I started walking that direction. I decided to yell at the corner and tell him what motherfuckers, because I heard him yell the whole time during the fight. So those guys I kind of released some frustration on. But in the back, the one guy that was willing to come up to me and shake my hand was Justin Buckles. You know,
wow.
All the other guys are still seeming pretty bitter. You know, they put a lot on this. You know, they put their whole legacy of Team Alpha Male behind Cody. You know, they put a lot of pressure on that guy to live up to what they wanted him to be. You know, and I didn't feel like that was really fair to him either. But you know, they put all their eggs into Cody, and you know, I smashed them. I smashed their dreams. I smashed who they were, and so they're all bitter about it.
What did Justin say to you?
Oh, he came up and said congratulations. I know he seemed like he even wanted to talk to me, but, you know, I haven't really gone out of my way yet. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm, you know, eager to. I'm out enjoying time with the family right now. We're walking around Central Park and stuff.
Oh, you're in New York still?
Yeah, still in New York. Yeah, enjoying the city. My mom's birthday's tomorrow, so going out to dinner tonight and celebrating in the city.
And so, correct me if I'm wrong, when Cody was up at the press conference on the dais, you were in the room, right? You were listening to him. Could you hear everything that he was saying?
I didn't hear everything. I had to go to the bathroom and stuff, but yeah, I heard a lot of it.
So when you hear him say, like, look, I don't like him, I still don't like him, I don't take back anything that I said, did you hear that stuff? And if so, like, were you kind of hoping that it would get squashed a little bit after the fight?
Yeah, man, of course. You know, I'm not one that looks for the drama. You know what I mean? I'm not one that wants to hate anybody. I'm not one that I didn't leave because I hated anybody. I didn't want all this bull crap. So yeah, I was hoping it would get squashed a little more than it was, and it'd be a little bit more mature about this whole thing and be professionals. You know, where I was hoping it was more about him hyping it up, but I guess that's how it feels. So whatever, man. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, he's gonna have to fight. We have a very tough weight division.
Right.
He will be around, but he's gonna have to have some tough fights to even get back to me. So who knows if I'm showing his weakness. I don't think he actually has a chin. I even see when Cruz hit him a couple of times, it would wobble him, and Cruz is no power puncher. So I think if people aren't as scared as he drops his hands. Always dropping his hands. They're real low. That's why I caught him with a head kick. Every time he throws a punch, he drops his opposite hand. He gets away with being fast and has power. So, I think he's got a long road ahead of him.
So do you think, confidently that your next fight will be against Demetrious Johnson in the back? Dana seems to be on board. Were there any discussions? Do you feel like they're really going to push for this?
Absolutely, man. Like, why not? This fight makes sense, He doesn't have anybody, and this thing should have happened in August. He wants a big money fight. He wants to prove that he's the pound for pound king. This is the step. I can make the weight. I wanted to stop him from breaking the record. And, he wanted to break it first, So he got that out of the way. He got to do what he wanted to do. He could be in the record books. But now it's time to man up and get this fight going. This is a fight that the fans want to see. I keep hearing them saying it. And everyone's loving it. So let's get this done. No reason to be scared now. You got to break the record,
Would you stay at 125 if you won? Or, you'd be just the second person in the history of the UFC to be a champion at the same time in two different weight classes, somewhat uncharted territories, and Conor didn't really do much with it because he was stripped shortly thereafter. What do you think you would do if you'd go down there and win the belt?
He's never defended the title. I have.
No.
He's never defended his belt ever.
Right.
I'm not one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that's a hard worker. I'm in the gym nonstop. I'm always in shape. So, I'm willing to do what it takes. If they'll let me defend both, I will. It's something that I'm willing to work. I want to be. I want to prove this is how you be a champion, and this is the way to do it.
Wow, what an opportunity that would be. And when, in a perfect world for you, when do you want to return? Do you want to take some time? I know you're going to be a dad soon. So what are you hoping as far as the schedule is concerned?
I definitely got to get through these last 8 weeks of pregnancy with my wife's fight camp. She's been taking care of me. It's my time to take care of her. And super excited for the birth of our child. So definitely want to get through that before I even start thinking about it. But I'm always going to be in the gym. I'll be staying ready, and I'll be making sure I don't eat too much New York pizza. I don't want to blow up too big if I'm going to really be serious about this. Cut down to 25. It's going to be a cool little process, man. I'm going to have to do some serious work, and I got to prove to myself that it's a real possibility because I was already down to 140 pounds, very healthy, with 9 weeks to go still. So, this is something I don't know. Sorry to run around your question. I don't know the exact date. I guess the first things first is to get through this pregnancy and get this thing lined up.
I could see it coming. Jimmy Rivera, Dominic Cruz says, "Hey, you need to defend it against me." What would you say to those guys? Who might be upset that you'd go down to 125?
Cruz can suck it, man. He's the one that made me wait forever. He knew he should have been giving me that rematch. He was scared. He thought he was cherry picking by picking Cody. He was trying to hold on to the belt. He was running as much as he can. So, if it's up to me, he can wait. He can wait as long as I did. I could care less. I do want to beat that guy. I do want to smash him because I know that I can. But I don't care what he says. You know what I mean? I'm going for the fight that makes the most sense for me right now, and that's Demetrious Johnson. And I'll do whatever it takes to do it.
Did you see Demetrious in the back? I know he was in attendance. Did you see him at all?
I did. He came by when I was taking photos with the belt, and he said that I did the first step. So in my mind, that's him saying, let's get this on, that I did the first step of because he told me, or he didn't tell me, but he said it to the media that I wasn't worthy of a title shot, that I needed to be a champion. You know what I mean? That he wasn't going to fight me because I wasn't a champion. He came by and said that I did the first step, So I think in his mind, too, this is the fight that makes sense.
Wow. Okay. So
you got to break,
Yeah. Full disclosure, I actually asked him to come on the show to talk about it, and he said respectfully that he did not want to. So I wasn't sure really where he stood on it all. You think that he will take the fight? You think he's never done that, by the way. I'll give him his space, but I was a little surprised. You are confident that he will accept the fight?
No, I'm not 100% confident. He was scared the first time, so I imagine he's still scared now, too. I respect Demetrious Johnson. I respect him as a human being. He always acts like a professional. He's a nice guy, but that doesn't mean I can't say that he's scared to fight me. I do respect him. I respect, his choices, and he's got an awesome little family and stuff. But, it's time to man up. This isn't about liking or disliking. This is about the fight that needs to happen.
Last thing for you, TJ. At times this got really personal, right? They threw a lot your way. For the most part, I felt, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, like you never wanted to stoop to their level. You didn't go back with accusations. You were responding as you should have, but you never felt the need to air dirty laundry. How difficult was that for you? And do you feel like you have been validated, like your character, your decision to leave, whatever the case may be, because of what happened on Saturday, you've been validated?
I hit a nail on the head perfectly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to air out dirty laundry. There were even things in the press conference where, they would ask questions to Cody, and every time I got asked a question, I got interrupted by Cody trying to answer it, and he'd get ask the question where stuff that I could just run on forever about, with coaching and all this stuff. And, I decided not to. I just don't want to get into that back and forth battle. This is something that I'm trying to squash and get past anyway. I've been trying to get past it since the day I left. That's why I left, especially with all that stuff, I mean, the immaturity and all the craziness, If I were to air out dirty laundry, this thing would just go on like, oh, he said, well, no, he said this, and then back and forth, That's like a little kid's game. I just don't want to get involved in that. So, yeah, I do feel vindicated from the win. I do prove to everyone that, acting like a professional was the way to be, and that the me leaving Smith Mill was vindicated. I'm being trained by the best coach in the world in my eyes, and that's why I left. And it happens all the time, and it's just crazy that this is even after the fight, it's still talked about. It's craziness.
I can't imagine how you're feeling on this Monday. You're about to be a dad. I remember seeing you in Boston after the Cruz fight. You're so disappointed. All this drama of the past year. It must feel really nice to be TJ Dillashaw on this Monday, right?
Yeah, man, it does feel good, but I don't know. I guess I kind of easily forget those times, and I'm just hanging out with the family. I'm just, it's for me, I'm never going to change. I feel like I've always been an open book. I'm going to continue to be the same guy. It's got me to where I'm at. I'm a family guy. I'm hanging out, and that's that. I mean, it feels good when you say it. I have you hear you say it and talk about it. Like, yeah, I don't have to deal with that now. It does feel good, but. Yeah, man. It definitely feels better than getting screwed out of your belt. I'll say that.
Congratulations, TJ. I really appreciate you coming on. I know you're very busy, probably wanting to get away from it all. So thank you very much for the time. Enjoy the belt, and good luck to you and your wife with the birth coming up. No better moment, no greater excitement, no greater joy. So enjoy every minute of it.
Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. We're pumped.
All right. Good luck to you guys. Thank you, TJ. Talk to you soon.
Of course. Have a good one.